Hello and welcome to Monson Made This. Welcome back to another whole food plant-based weight loss update. It has been about 2.5 weeks since the last time I checked in. Things are still theoretically going well. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about what's been happening. I'll give you updates on all of my numbers. And then today I'm also doing a what I eat in a day video. So I'm going to be showing you what I'm eating throughout the day in order to stick to my goals and to reach my goals. So speaking of that food, I have a dish right here, which is already halfway eaten. I'm not going to really show you the preparation of the foods unless it's a brand new invented recipe, because I'm probably be eating things that I already have on my channel. So this dish here, pardon me, so good. It's just like such an easily adaptable dish. This is my Instant Pot grits with, I forget what exactly I have it titled. I'll have it linked below. But this is my Instant Pot grits. It cooks in 9 minutes in the Instant Pot. Then I just put some greens and beans on top. This is still in my a grain, a bean, a veggie, a green, and a seed paradigm. So my grain, which is I guess not technically a whole grain, is the corn grits. My bean is my Akoba beans. My veggie is actually chopped up broccoli rabe. My green is a combination of some type of like baby bok choy. I forget the name of it exactly. And some Tokyo Bacana, which both come in my CSA, which somebody asked me what a CSA is. It stands for Community Supported Agriculture. And basically I pay a farm and I get deliveries once a week of whatever they are growing that week. It's really great. Keeps me stocked up on greens and veggies, and that makes me have to eat them so I get my money's worth and don't feel like I'm wasting my money. In terms of the seed, which is the portion of my meals that is dedicated to whole plant fats, I did put some coconut milk into the grits. Normally I like to add soy yogurt, but I didn't have any on hand, so I just put the coconut milk in there for a bit of whole plant fat. Now, people have been coming up, because I've mentioned how I want to come up with a good acronym, pardon me, for my grain, a bean, a veggie, a green, and a seed. And people are comparing it to G-bombs and different like acronyms that other doctors have. Those are more about within a day, eat these foods for maximum nutrient density, or exactly, I'm not sure exactly what the goal is there, but mine is more about building a meal and composing a meal. Because if you go from eating meat or traditional, like the standard American diet, and you switch to a whole food plant-based diet, your meals are going to look a little bit different. You're not going to have that protein center. You're not going to have the carb side. Things get a little bit confusing, and it becomes difficult to sort of conceptually build a meal. So that's why I've just come up with this checklist, so that I make sure that I have a good amount of fiber, a good amount of protein, a decent amount of fat, that it's not too weighted any one way, so that it's like, oh my God, I'm just eating carbs, or oh my God, I'm just eating, I don't think with a plant-based diet you're going to just be eating protein. But yeah, it just helps to make my meals for me balanced. So that's what this is all about. Not about eat this to have the most nutrient-dense day of your life. But if you want to build a meal that checks the fiber, protein, and fats box, this is a way to do it. Before I get into my numbers, because this is a weight loss update, just need to reiterate that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not anything of any expertise. I'm just a person who decided to eat a whole food plant-based diet as a way to lose a few pounds. I started back on December 6th of 2020. On that day, I weighed in at 221.3 pounds. I believe in the last check-in, I said 221.6, but it's actually 221.3. And I've been eating in this manner, eating these grain, a bean, a veggie, the rest, as a way to feel satisfied and to feel like I'm eating well, so that I'm not snacking too much in between meals. Eating a decent amount of fiber, protein, and fat makes it so that when I finish a meal, I feel satisfied. I don't feel like ravenously hungry in between meals. I don't feel like my hunger spikes or peaks. I never get like too full, but I also like can tell when I'm starting to get hungry again. I don't get hangry. And that's been the biggest thing that I've noticed. And it's not that these foods, by eating plants, I'm not going to put on any weight. Calories still count. But it's more about being able to control myself around food a little bit more, which is what I personally needed. Quantity has always been my biggest obstacle, and eating this way has really helped me control my quantity. So The last weigh in, I was at 206.7. Again, that was about 2 weeks ago. That was January 20th. Today I'm filming this on February 7th, and I'm at 203.6. Now, the main reason I haven't really updated between that day and today is because things have kind of plateaued for me. Things just kind of were in this like 205 to 204 range for the last 2 weeks. And I knew that I was aware of how many calories I was consuming in a given day. I have the video where I build my perfect bowl and talk about how the bowl size is important because you can visually see how much you're eating. And I was aware of what I was eating. What I didn't necessarily account for was that as my weight started to go down, and not being absolutely meticulous about the calories I was consuming, I was theoretically consuming the number of calories that I needed in order to sustain the weight that I had reached. So I wasn't losing any more because I was eating the number of calories I should have been eating in a day to sustain that 204, 205 weight range. So I went and refigured out, in order to lose more, what I needed to consume in a day. And I'm not going to give you my specific numbers because my goals are different than yours, and I don't want to say this is exactly what I'm eating so that you think that that's what you need to eat, because you need to do sort of the math for yourself. And I will link up here a link to a Jordan Sayat video, which is what I use to figure out what I need in order to be in a caloric density. So today I'm at 203.6 on February 7th, and that is a total of 18 pounds in about 9 weeks. So even though I was at a little plateau for about 2 weeks, recalibrating things, I've started to go back down again. It's noticeable. And still, as an average overall, I'm at 2 pounds per week, which is more than great, right? Sustainable weight loss is between 1 and 2 pounds a week, and currently I'm in that range. So I feel really great about that. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say on this. Eat another bite. It was delicious food just sitting in front of me. All right, well, that's all I have to say about my update. Again, things are going well. They were a little bit stagnant for a minute. It's not that I started to gain weight again. I just needed to recalibrate. Since I've recalibrated, it's been about 4 days. Things are starting to go down again. I'm still feeling satisfied with the meals, even though I am in more of a calorie deficit than I had been before. So I've had to kind of retoggle what I'm putting into each meal, which I'll show you throughout the day today. And still feeling like my initial plan to eat these foods in order to not feel too hangry in between meals is still in effect. So I'm very happy with my choice still. I'm going to finish eating this. And I will see you when I eat again. Oh, I don't know if I said it already, but I'll have this recipe linked below. I think I did say it. It's been a few hours. I don't even know how many, maybe like 3 or 4 hours since I ate last, and I decided I wanted a salad, but I also wanted to use up some of the grits that I made earlier. So when it chills, it becomes solid. I cut it up into little cubes and air fried them into kind of croutons. So I've got a kale salad here with jalapenos, broccoli. I had some canned beets in the cupboard that I found. I've just been soaking those in some vinegar, some avocado. The dressing is basically just tahini, like 2 tablespoons of tahini, a tablespoon of Bragg's, and a tablespoon of vinegar, some of the vinegar that was actually soaking in the beets. And so I'm really excited about this. It's going to be a nice hearty salad. It's going to hold me for quite a while. And calorically, it's not too bad at all. It's got a grain, which is my grits, a bean. Oh yeah, I've got Mayakoba beans in here too. Grain, a bean, it's got my veggies, the broccoli, green, and the kale, and avocado as my plant fat. So it's going to be delicious. I'm excited to dig in. And I haven't had beets in a long time, so I'm kind of excited. Does it look good? Oh yeah, it's also got banana peppers. I just like throw things in here. So good. It is about 8:30 8:30 and I'm eating my next meal. So this is Ezekiel Bread with tofu. If you've been around the channel for a while, you'll know that there is a spicy crab sushi roll from like a long time ago. So it's basically just ground up or grated baked sriracha tofu. And then instead of mayo, I used my ultimate vegan cold salad dressing. I'll have links for both of those below. That's sort of like a mayo dressing. So I've got that on Ezekiel. So it's sort of like a spicy crab type tuna salad. There's avocado on top, a little togarashi, some green onion. I was kind of just planning on like an open face sandwich thing, which is exactly what this is, but I'll probably end up eating it with a fork because I loaded it with the entire like a block of tofu there. So I'm going to eat this. Like I said, it's about 8:30 and I'm probably planning on eating something a little bit later again. I'm kind of craving my chocolate pudding oats. Calorically, I still have a little bit of room and I think I can make that work. So I'm gonna eat this and then I will see you when I decide what I'm gonna do after this. I feel like I say this every time I do one of these, like what I eat in a day videos, that my eating schedule is just not conducive to filming. It's about 10:20. This is my last food of the day. Admittedly, by the way, these are my chocolate or coconut chocolate pudding oats. It's in the last video I did, which had 3 different oat recipes in it. And admittedly, I intentionally didn't eat much in my previous like meal because I knew that I wanted this later. Instead of just going directly to this, I knew I wanted a little bit more protein, something a little more substantial and savory. So I had a little bit of a smaller meal before with my tofu salad sandwich thing so I could have this, and I'm very grateful. It's so good. Comforting. Just like the perfect dessert. Sweetened with bananas and raisins. It's just got a nice like sweetness and richness without being like cloying, and you can feel good about eating it because it's just oats and banana. That's it for today. I'll film a clip tomorrow kind of giving an overview of everything from today, and yeah, so I will see you in the morning. Well, that is mostly everything that I ate on Sunday, February 7th. I did around midnight have like a handful of almonds and a couple of these really bad Whole Foods brand Triscuits. I did slightly go over my caloric count for the day by I think about 100 calories. Not a big deal, not too worried about it. So I didn't mention also that I am tracking everything in Chronometer, which I find is a great app. It's a little bit difficult sometimes, especially with things like beans. I cook my beans from dry, so trying to figure out exactly which chickpea to use or which Mayakoba bean, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult. I just try to use common sense and not take things too seriously. It's a tool to help me track. It's not anything perfect, so I also have things on a slightly stricter side on there so that when I do have a handful of almonds and a couple of crappy wheat thins at the end of the night, Triscuits, sorry, I don't feel like I've messed myself up, that I'm still on track. I've built in a little bit of wiggle room there because I know myself. So thank you for watching. If you want more videos like this, what I eat in a day style, I have a whole playlist, I'll link it up here, that has my first week of what I eat in a days when I started this journey. But if you want to see more, definitely comment below. And yeah, I'll keep you updated along the way, more recipe ideas to follow. If you have any ideas for recipes or things that you would like me to try to make while I'm on this journey, then definitely comment below and let me know. So thank thank you all for watching. Thanks to those of you that have joined the channel, which if you want to join, you can click the join button below and you have access to all of the Monson ate this videos. Also, you can join on Patreon and have access to those videos as well. That link is also below, as well as links to all of the recipes that were mentioned in this video. That's it for me today. I will see you next time. Bye.
Ryan Little.